Good morning and welcome to Wednesday's video. Today we're looking at comparing angles. So yesterday we learned about right angles. A right angle is 90 degrees or a quarter turn. Yesterday we used our right angle finder to look at them. One of these angles is a right angle. This angle is bigger than a right angle. This angle is smaller than a right angle. This angle is a right angle. So the angle that is bigger than a right angle, but it's not a straight line, is called an obtuse angle. The angle that is smaller than a right angle is called an acute angle. So here we've got some acute angles, some obtuse angles, and a right angle. We can use our right angle finder to help us to identify them. So if it's smaller than a right angle, it's acute. If it's bigger than a right angle, it's obtuse. Or it could be a right angle. So here on the clock face, the hands of the clock are making an angle. The angle between the hands is bigger than a right angle, so that means it's an obtuse angle. This time, the angle is smaller than the right angle, so that is an acute angle. This time, when we use our right angle finder, we find that that angle is a right angle. Here are some letters, and where the lines of the letters join, you can see some angles. There are some acute angles, some obtuse angles, and there's also some right angles. You can use your right angle finder to identify them. So the letter A has got some obtuse and some acute angles. The letter F has got right angles, and N has just got acute angles. So there are your right angles. There are your acute angles. And on the A, there are the obtuse angles. So when we're trying to draw shapes, we can use the instructions about angles to help us. So if you're thinking of a shape with 3 right angles and 2 obtuse angles, you could be thinking of different shapes. There are 2 examples. I'm sure you could draw some more. So these angles are your right angles, and these are bigger, so they are obtuse angles, and at the top you've got another right angle there. Here you've got 1, 2, 3 right angles, and these 2 angles here are both much bigger than the right angles, so they're the obtuse ones. So here are some statements about a shape. This shape is a quadrilateral, so it must have 4 right angles. This shape has 2 obtuse angles. This shape has 2 right angles. This shape has 2 acute angles. Some of those statements are true, and some of them are false. Using your right angle finder, you will soon find that none of the angles there are right angles. What you will find though is there are two obtuse angles and two acute angles.